Hello there! And just after making a brand new Teemo Swain deck, which is available on this channel, welcome to the Dongers of Runeterra. And we do things called Donger deck discussions, where we quite literally like doing fun things, which is kind of, you know, we love making competitive decks. So, we've made a whole ton of Targon decks. We have used different other things for it. It's kind of cool. Everybody's on Targon. But my Teemo Swain deck are for more competitive players who genuinely want, are there new cards that we can do this with? Can we increase our win rate with the new cards from the Targon expansion? And the honest answer is yes, of course you can. That's the whole idea of releasing new sets of cards. It not only gives us things to play with, it also makes improvements to our deck. But one of our biggest watched videos was the best 3 budget decks that people can play if they haven't got the shards or they're brand new to the game and they're not too sure about what they want to be doing. So I'm making another one. And this time, we're just going to put in the cards that I think some of these decks are champion-less. Some of them have got champions you probably already own. So let's go into the 3 decks and see what they are. And the very first deck that we're using is a budget burn deck. So as you can see, absolutely no champion whatsoever. We have 25 cards from Noxus. We have 15 from P&Z. And here is the deck. This, essentially, if you don't know what a burn deck is you throw out as many units as you possibly can, using spells to survive, to kill things, to add to stuff, to go straight to Nexus damage, and every single card in this is excellent. Legion Saboteur is a 3-of, just a really solid card. It's very, very good indeed. And Precious Pet is also a very good card for very cheap. And both of these only cost 1 mana. Boom Crew Rookie is doing damage every time he attacks, which is excellent. Crimson Disciple is a 2-3 that if it withholds damage, does 1 damage to the Nexus. The Imperial Demolitionist will put 1 damage onto another card. And there was a deck with Darius called Darrowing that was pretty much this deck. They had to nerf down some of the Crimson package. Disciple that the Demolitionist onto Disciple used to do 4 damage. It now will do the 2 damage from the Demolitionist and the 1 damage from the Disciple, but it's still 3 damage to face straight away. The Legion Grenadier will do 2 damage when he dies, and the Used Cask Salesman is a 3/2 unit that puts out caustic casks that do 1 damage to each person's Nexus. And then on top of that, we have the brand new card Poro Cannon, which is just a brand new deck from Targon. It just makes things go kaboom brilliantly. Brother's Bond will increase your attack power value by 2. Mystic Shot will do 2 to absolutely anything, including the Nexus. Transfusion is you do 1 damage to one of your units to give the other person in your team +2 power, +2 health. Get Excited is like discard a card to do 3 to anything, and as we're going to face, unless there's something really big on the other side of the board, it's probably better off going straight to the Nexus. Noxian Fervor will do 3 damage to one of your units to do 3 damage to anything at all, and again, yes, we are probably hitting it straight to the face, but without anything like Swain trying to level up, if you can do this on a Precious Pet, or something like the Legion Grenadier, or something that's going to die, if you've got the 3 damage, anything that has less than 3 health, Noxian Fervor it, put it into the Nexus is a good way to win, and then Decimate at a cost of 5 does 4 for the slow spell, and that is directly straight to the face of your opponent's Nexus, which is kind of good. And deck number 2 is Budget Spiders. We all get 2 Elusives in the game, so I have decided to just use the 2. Darius was the biggest deck for quite some time. I'm assuming people will have the same thing. And then we're pretty much going down pretty much the same route and the same cards, but this time we're going down with spiders to try and level up Elise. So Legion Saboteur, deal 1 when you're attacking. Precious Pet, so these 2 1-drops are exactly the same as they are over here. And then we have Arachnoid Horror, that's a fearsome. So anything under 3 attack or power cannot block it. House Spider will bring out not only itself at a 2/2, but will also bring out a little skitterer, a little tiny spider as a 1/1, so you're getting 2 units for 2 mana. The Frenzied Skitterer is another great unit. Does so much for your game plan, the Frenzied Skitterer. You can see that nearly all of these are 3s of. And you need them, because once you have 3 spiders and Elise then levels, she doesn't then bring out her spider like she does when you play her, but everything is now fearsome and challenger, so all your spiders can now start taking things off and dying, which is pretty damn good. Crowd favourite, if for instance you have 5 people out already, he gets +1/+1 for every single ally that you have on the board. Arachnoid Host is just a, oh my god, once you get this down, you're probably starting on the way to win. And then the only sort of very sort of cheap, not cheap, the most expensive card in the game, he is the epic, where there is only the one, and you can see from the other, there are 0 epics, only 9 of those. We're going very down the common route here. Only the 4 champions, but as I say, these are champions that you probably already own. And if you don't, you already own Elise, you could hypothetically go for extra things like Stalking Shadows, which is a brand new card. But Pharaon, once you drop him down, he puts 3 decimates into your hand, which is why we're only wanting 1 of these. They do 4 damage straight to the Nexus. Crawling Sensation is, should anything have died, it will put out 2 spiders. Brothers Bond, again, just like in this one, it will bring out, as you attack or defend, you're getting +2 power, really good to keep things alive. Glimpse Beyond is when you kill one of your units to draw 2 cards, which is fantastic in Shadow Isles. Stalking Shadows is that you have a look at the top 4 cards of your deck, you get to draw one, and you also get an ephemeral one. Vile Feast is where you hit and drain, and by drain I mean you add 1 to your Nexus health. You can use it on, say, another spider or a 1 health unit, and you also get a 1/1 spider. It only costs 2 mana, and then we finish off with 1 decimate. There are other good cards that you can use, or you can just, go for 3 Elise. It's whatever you like. As this, I think, is a really good thing. As Darius, once you've been going out and out and out, as soon as the Nexus hits 10 or less health, he then becomes a 10/6 champion and will probably end the game. And the final budget deck that I'm going to talk about today is the Elusive Shadow combo. This is a combination deck with absolutely nothing champion-wise. Most budget decks don't run champions, but are very, very good and highly effective at what they do. The Hapless Aristocrat will bring you out a spider because he has Last Breath. Last Breath is once it dies, it gives you a bonus. You get a 1/1 spider for that. The Navari Blade Scout is a 1 cost that when you play him down, he is elusive. He loses his elusive at the end of the turn, and he is a 2/1 unit. The Oblivious Islander is another 1 cost thing. When you put it down, you find a unit in hands, and you reduce its cost by 1, but you make it ephemeral, which is really good for the end game in here, but keep that in mind. This card was not in the meta. It is now everywhere in Shadow Wilds decks because it's very, very good. The Green Glade Jewel is a 2/1 elusive unit that every time you put a card down, when she is on your board, she goes up a power. So if you put 2 extra things on there, she's now a 4/1 that can't be stopped unless she's spell hit or another elusive unit. Keeper of Masks is pretty much amazing. It is a fantastic card that when you drop it at the end, everything gets +1/+1. You drop that, you keep the 2, and that normally wins you the game. The Navari Conspirator is again another fantastic elusive card, and Shadow Assassin is another brilliant elusive card. And that's your units. You have 19 followers, most of which are elusive. So you can just keep them down, and then you use your spells pretty much to kind of just stay alive, really, early doors. And by turn 5, 6, and 7, once you get into the mid game, you should have enough of these to go out and win the game by dropping a Keeper of Masks, maybe a Navari Blade Scout. Drop the Keeper of Masks last and win. Fading Memories is you pick a follower in hand, you get an ephemeral one. So when you know you've probably got enough to go out in one turn kill it, that is where you are. Glimpse Beyond will kill a unit. Very good if you've got an ephemeral one, as it draws you 2 cards. Stalking Shadows, top 4, look at the followers, top 4 cards in your deck. You draw one and then you make an ephemeral one. So there's a whole load of synergy in this deck. Unspeakable Horror, I've completely forgotten why I even put this in, but it's very good indeed. Vile Feast, for 2 mana, raise 1, kill a unit, get a spider. Concussive Palm will get you a unit, that's a stun, that will get you a 3/2 unit, which, if you could recall it, which we can't because we're not running anything like Recall or Retreat or Will of Ionia, but we are running 1 Deny that will stop any spell that isn't burst if you've got the 4 mana, and Encroaching Shadows to finish the whole thing off. There are only 3 of these. Again, over half the deck is the cheapest cards in the game. You will probably have some of these even from just starting off. You get Green Glade Geo, etc. in the game as well. These are my top 3 Targon budget decks. I hope you enjoyed doing that. The easiest way to do this is to just find these, take a screenshot, take it on your phone, take it on your PC, take it on your laptop, whatever it is, and then go into the deck creation and make these. They will not cost an awful lot of shards. You don't really need that amount of money. The middle one here is probably going to be the most expensive because you have got 4 champions. The other 2 don't. And the other way of doing it is just find the deck that you really want and write it down on a piece of paper and build the deck. So I hope this gets you excited about playing cards from the new expansion. These are also decks that can be used in competition because you probably have got 3 to 5 Targon decks already. This is Noxus P&Z. This is Noxus Shadow Isles. And this is Ionia and Shadow Isles. So these will give you enough that if you wanted to start doing competition games where you need 3 decks from 6 different regions, these are solid choices to take to a competition. My name is Sith Holocron. Stop the video whenever you want to make one of these great budget decks, and we will see you in the very next one. Until then, Dongers out.